name is Alex. Today I'm going to be showing you all the products I've been using in rotation in my fall skincare routine. This is the most rotated my skincare routine has been in a while. Because I'm very grateful, knock on wood when I say this, my skin has been calm lately. It's been able to tolerate and be very situational, and so that is what this routine is going to display. It's a fall routine I feel like they're always situational, kind of mixing between different products. Non-skincare related, I want to talk about a couple of things I'm obsessed with. First of all, my new water bottle that I've been taking to work. She's in a Walla. She is thin at the bottom, so that means that she fits in cup holders. It's the little things in life, and that's what I'm really enjoying right now. So grab yourself a water too, because it is a reset Sunday for me. It's Saturday when I'm posting this, but today I went to a concert last night. Just need to have a chill day before I go back to work. Life has been great lately. I have zero complaints. I'm really grateful for where I'm at. So let's just take a little self-care day. I'm gonna be using some products that are more designed for the colder days and that I use whenever my skin is just stressed out. Been dealing with a little bit of post-acne discoloration and kind of recovering my skin. It will be a more gentle routine, but I'm gonna talk about some of the products I use on any day pretty much in the fall. So let's get going. First of all, obviously a headband. This is technically the day. It's 4 p.m. It's my day today. I slept in like crazy. I do use a makeup remover, and if you all want me to post like a very easy, simple, natural, minimal makeup routine, let me know, because that all starts with skincare and I do a specific routine just for that. So let me know if you are interested in that. I'm not gonna do any makeup or anything today because I can't. I just physically can't. I do use Crave Beauty's Makeup Rewind to remove my makeup whenever I use it. I feel like this is the perfect transformative oil jelly style texture that is budget friendly considering how often I use it and how fast I go through it, which is not very quickly at all. It uses great ingredients. It's been one of the safest for my personal acne prone skin, and whenever people have acne and they're wanting an oil cleanser recommendation, I always send them to this first because it's just a good baseline option. I have so many new products to talk to you guys about, which I have done reviews too, but I'm excited to talk more in depth about them and my experience with them, because look at this. You to the People's Adaptogen Snow Mushroom Cleanser has been a lifesaver for me. This is something I use on the days when it's colder. I use both day and night because it is very balancing. But on the days it's warmer, I'll use it during the day to be just a nice light refresher cleanse. Because I noticed with my acne prone skin, I personally need to cleanse twice a day. It does cause breakouts if I skip that, and one reason why I decided to film the skincare routine when I did was because I needed to get with it and wash my face before the day got away. But at night I'll use sometimes a little bit more of a purifying cleanser, which we're not gonna worry about that today because it's very dry. The skin's kind of going through it. I didn't drink enough water yesterday, and I noticed that my lips, my drier areas just are not as hydrated. They're a lot more dry feeling when I don't nourish my body with the water that it needs. But this cleanser is the perfect balance, soothing, redness reducing, and also has helped with some acne as well cleanser. I just love this product. It is such an amazing balancing cleanser, and it's something I do see myself repurchasing, which when I first saw that price point, I was like, ooh, we'll see. But no, it is actually worth it. It is actually something that I would invest in because of how gentle it is. Not a necessity. I do feel like Remedy for Cleansing would be a good alternative to this. But I'm just loving this product. The Adaptogen collection from You to the People needs to be studied with how well it works for my skin. I needed this so bad. My skin it's like that gross feeling that I get. I didn't shower after the concert. That made me disgusting. I didn't get sweaty. I didn't get too bad last night, luckily. I love when concert venues air condition the heck out of it. Like, it feels nice. I did just wash my face, and I cannot wait to take a shower. Sundays are my full deep cleansing shower. I do a reset every Sunday. I need that today. Now this is where I would usually dry my face off with a washcloth. I don't talk about this often because I don't really want to promote this, but I had a few brands reach out and send me some of these disposable acne face drying towels. If you struggle with that, this may be a good option. I personally am trying to be as environmentally conscious as possible. I'm using these while I have them, but they will not be repurchased. I'm just using them because they sent them to me. I don't like using these because they are single use, they are disposable, and it's just creating a lot of waste that I don't agree with. But also, if I were just to discard them or give them to somebody else, it would create more waste. So I haven't talked about these because I really don't want to promote them, but I'm gonna do that. I'm being real in this video because they did send them to me. I'm going to use them until they're gone, and then we will not be repurchasing. I use washcloths with that. There's no need for single use in that. Anyway, that's my rant of the day. I've noticed that my skin has been doing better when I go in with actives directly after cleansing. I have to be on dry skin, and I usually dry off with a washcloth because I'm in such a hurry. I need to slow down, I need to calm down. But let's talk about actives. I'm going to go in today with Tear's 12% azelaic acid serum. This is super lightweight. Always impressed when brands are able to achieve azelaic acid with a lightweight texture. From what I've seen with cosmetic chemists and the formulation of azelaic acid, it can be difficult to master the texture. This is super nourishing, super lightweight, super gentle for sensitive skin, but it is 12%. So I would recommend building up with a style of product like this because it is not your typical 10-5%, but I, as a more experienced active user and as someone who's been experiencing a lot of redness lately and acne sensitivity, post-acne hyperpigmentation, this is a dream for me. It's definitely something that's more intense, but I need that. While that's setting on my face, let's talk about some more actives I've been using. At night, I alternate retinal exfoliating glycolic acid nights. I personally have been loving and reincorporating in my routine Geek and Gorgeous's A-Game 10. I had enough Geek and Gorgeous restock. I needed to order where I could justify free shipping from their website where I could get this. This is the best retinaldehyde serum. It also dawned on me that I've talked about how I'm not scared to age, but I do like to be as preventative as possible with that. This retinol serum is a beautiful way to deliver the great benefits of retinol to my skin. It's helped texture, it's helped some discoloration and brightening my skin. So take this down to my neck, I take this on my chest, I take this everywhere to ensure that I am getting the benefits of this product because I am starting to be preventative with anti-aging. When it comes to acne retinoids, Differin Gel is still here. She is not ever leaving my routine. This is a drugstore dappling gel that I just absolutely love. It's been a go-to staple for me for a while, and it's something that I only use though when I have active breakouts because I just don't feel like I need it as much every single night. Like I said, my routines become very adaptive in the fall. I don't know what happened with me, but it just kind of dawned upon me that I need to be going in with some different actives because I've had some different skin concerns. I've been outside a lot more, dealing with a little bit more discoloration and brightening, and it's always good to look up what the best active is and also kind of have a dermatologist or an expert guide you along with that. I have been going to a dermatologist for a while. I just don't talk about it often. I've started talking about it more because I've gotten comments being like, your dermatologist needs to do this, your dermatologist needs to do this, and I'm like, listen, I have advice for that. I like to make jokes about people online randomly deciding that they're just gonna be my dermatologist one day. I'm like, I have an expert that guides me through all of this, but that's why I started talking about it openly because I do feel like I'm not the type of person that likes to talk about that stuff. I just like to do it. But since I do have this platform, since I do have this wonderful community, I feel like I just owe it to you guys to be transparent with that. And that's why I have gotten this recommendation, and I will never see myself going away from that. I haven't personally needed to go up to to a prescription strength, but I know I always have that option if I need it. This over-the-counter treatment just works great for me as acne treatment. I only use Different Gel at night. I don't use it during the day. That's why I'm not using it during this routine. I'm also not struggling with any active breakouts. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. I also want to bring up that at night, sometimes I like to go for more gentle approaches. Like tonight, I'm going to be going for a more gentle retinal serum. The Geek and Gorgeous is great, but there are just sometimes where my skin cannot tolerate that. Not that it's drying, not that it's sensitizing. I just feel like a 0.1% concentration is sometimes a little bit too much for me. So that's why Crave Beauty's 24 karat retinal has been a wonderful serum and treatment. I don't go through this very quickly. It is very balancing, lightweight, but yet moisturizing, and has nourishing ingredients in it to counteract the retinal. Geek and Gorgeous is more bare bones. This is more of a complex than I've seen from any other retinal on the market, and it has a wonderful encapsulation to it that I feel like makes it a really beneficial serum. Finally, I want to talk about an AHA exfoliating serum that I feel like has been really worth it and beneficial to me in the fall. Naturium's Multi-Bright Advanced Serum is one of the best deliveries and most gentle formulations to give a good result with texture discoloration. I use this alternating with retinal and Different Gel depending on what my skin's going through, but I use this about 2 to 3 times a week and it's been wonderful. I want to go in now though with Naturium's Multi-Bright Milky Toner. I know I just used a 12% azelaic acid. I can personally tolerate this with that because this is an azelaic acid derivative, and it also is super nourishing and milky to the skin. Even though it says Milky Toner and it starts out as a milk, it definitely is more lightweight in terms of viscosity, and comparing it to some of my other favorite milky toners. It is super nourishing though, very hydrating, and perfect for when I'm struggling with some discoloration, texture, anything that I'm going through. This product really just treats and counteracts. Also brings my skin back to life, which I needed today. We're gonna be layering on some hydration and make it a little bit crazy. I'm not gonna do as crazy as the last fall routine though. That I look back at that and I just wanna look at myself and say, hey, we can talk about it. Do we need to talk about it? Because I did see somewhere, an esthetician that I follow was saying how you don't need to layer so many hydration steps on your face because they're all kind of doing similar things, which I kind of agree with that. My personal skin, I view different serums for different purposes, and I try not to put them all on the same time. I am guilty sometimes of putting on way too many hydration steps. I'm trying to work on that, trying to not do as much because I have been notorious for going a little crazy with it. I do like a nice glowy finish. I don't know where I stand on that. I haven't talked to my personal dermatologist about that yet, and that's definitely gonna be a topic of conversation later, because I do feel like there was a time where I was putting too much on my skin, hydrating it way too much, and just causing some breakouts because my skin was like, we don't need to do all that. We don't need to do it all. But beautiful thing about what I do is it's continuous learning. It's just like a lot of other things, and I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna say stuff that's wrong. I have had a bad habit in the past of not really understanding depth and struggling with words. Like I just say stuff sometimes, and not in like an ill intent way, but I try to be very intentional with what I say, and sometimes my brain just moves way too fast or my mouth moves way too fast, and I don't know, we're all a work in progress, but I appreciate you all for educating me, continuing to bring stuff to my attention. And skincare is science. Science is ever changing. We're gonna learn different stuff as research allows for it. So anyway, that was a tangent yet again. I'm not gonna go in with this product today, but I have been using Bioma's Blemish Relief Soothing Toner when I'm struggling with acne or when I feel a zit coming up, or when I use a product I'm trying that causes a breakout. This product clears that so fast. last. I am a big fan of Bioma's entire blemish collection. The Redness Relief Soothing Mist has been amazing, not only for acne, but redness, soothing my skin. I'm just gonna go in with some other redness soothing products in this video, and so there's not really a point to use it. I'm also running kind of low, so we're sparing. We are sparing in this environment. I am though gonna go in with Crave Beauty's Oil La La. I bet everyone who follows me could have expected this. This has been in every single routine I've done. This serum is so beautiful. I've talked about the technology a ton, but I love its active-free ability to utilize linoleic rich ingredients to transform the oil and sebum production on your skin and to counteract acne, which I absolutely love. It's just perfect after that milky toner step because it just soothes my skin even more. I like to be intentional with all of the skincare products I put on my face, and the Oil La La is something that no matter what product I'm trying, I like to have in my routine. And it's easy to have it there because it's super lightweight, doesn't really add much hydration, but does give a nice barrier strengthening finish to the skin. I also forgot to talk about this, but when I'm not using a milky toner like Naturium's with the azelaic acid derivative in it, when I'm just using a milky toner for hydration, Bubbles is what I've been using. I was not sure if this would work for me because it has coconut in it, and it may not work for everybody, but for me, it is a wonderful, soothing step to the skin. This is simply a hydrating product, and that's amazing. I feel like it does everything it needs. This is more the product I would go for if I was wearing makeup or I wanted a really glowy base to my face. That is this. So I would recommend this toner. I love the price point as well. You cannot beat that. Following the Oil La La today, because I'm dealing with so much irritation on my skin, I am gonna go in with Paula's Choice's Ecto-In Booster. I have been using this product sparingly because not only I've been very transparent about my thoughts on Paula's Choice. I'm not gonna get into that. Watch the full review if you wanna see that, because I do dig into that. I feel like a broken record sometimes, but I also wanna talk about, I didn't realize this when I filmed my review to it. I don't know why it didn't hit me how little you get of this product for the price point. 20 milliliters, 0.67 fluid ounces for over $40. Okay. Listen, it is a wonderful serum. It is a wonderful treatment. Somebody please, I need something more budget friendly than this to come out, and I did get some recommendations on that video, so thank you. I am gonna look into those. I'm gonna order those whenever I order skincare, but this is very ridiculous for it. It's super nice. So I'm gonna show you how I use it sparingly. I'm gonna show you how I use it sparingly because I do not like spending that much on that little skincare. I should have brought it up. It is something that just truthfully has been working so well for my skin, and I hate it because it is so expensive. Anyway, that's one of my beefs with, add that to the list of beefs that I have with Paula's Choice. I have to joke about it. I genuinely try my best to not carry that with me. I can't lie, I was a little salty when I figured out that they did unfollow me on Instagram, but I have moved on from it. It was more the reason why they did, because I did call out their jar packaging fiasco. I understand, but I'm also just come on guys, it is frustrating. But how I've been using that sparingly is adding it to my favorite hydration serum. So that is Glow Recipes Prickly Pear Peptide Mucin. This is another product that I see myself reinvesting in. As you can see, it's been pretty well loved. I love this as a nice glowy dewy serum, and it gives such a radiant finish to the skin. I was very caught off guard by this because it has some acne balancing ingredients in here. Just for reference, I'm adding a couple drops of the Ecto-In Booster to the Glow Recipe Plump Serum, and it creates this really beautiful hydrating and soothing benefit. But Glow Recipe really blew it out of the park with this launch. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did because we have so many snail mucin alternatives on the market. But I feel like the marketing was to get people's attention with the snail mucin. I like that they went deeper with their approach to a snail mucin product. I wish more brands would do that, because I feel like a lot of times with marketing of products, I studied communications and marketing in college. So I look at that aspect of it as well. I feel like a lot of times they advertise more than what you get. I'm a little bit taken aback when they market it and it's actually deeper. Like you look into it and you're like, oh, this is better than what they were advertising. That's like rarely the case, but Glow Recipe did that with that launch, so I have to pat them on the back for that. I think I mentioned this before, but I am still working on my big bottle of this Sun Cities fragrance that I paid so much for. It's become a running joke with my coworkers because I went to a small business in Nashville. They didn't have prices on any of the fragrances. They were super nice and I would go back and support them in a heartbeat. Like, that's my thing. I will invest a lot more when it's a small business. The owners told me their story. They told me everything about them and how they source everything. They were really cool people that I really just connected with. And I didn't know how much this was. I was just going around smelling and it was very expensive. And I was like, okay, cool. So it was a splurge. I'm making it last, but I have had it for about 3 months now. So yeah, this is Sun Cities. I know I've seen people talking about this brand. I'm so outside of the fragrance world. I need to be in it more, but I love this fragrance so much. It's been kind of like the comfort fragrance. I'm always gonna be able to smell that and remember how good this period was in my life, which I love. So anyway, I would recommend not necessarily spending that much on a fragrance, but if you're going through a really good time in your life, get a new fragrance and hold on to that, like mark that, because smells are like something that takes me right back to places, and I'm gonna want to remember this time period forever because it's really when my life has kind of taken a positive turn, and that is why I have that fragrance. I'm glad that I got it at this time. Anyway, a wholesome moment. A day and night go-to moisturizer for me has been CosRx's Ceramide Cream. I actually started using this with their mist, which, spoiler alert, I am using that product as well. We'll get to that. But this product is amazing to soothe the skin when my skin is just a little bit more balanced. I went in with some more hydrating serum and products, so I feel like this is just going to be the perfect way to lock that in. I also love that they used panthenol in this product and some pretty balancing ingredients as well, because I feel like it just makes a really well-rounded, soothing moisturizer. It does give a nice dewy finish, so it is going to be a little bit more hydrated, but it does dry down pretty nice, and I love that. Okay, at night, I recently cleaned out a lot of my skincare. I know you all wanted to see a video of that, but it was a dark time for me. It wasn't bad. I don't need to say that, but it was just like very spontaneous. I had a day off of work and I said, oh, I need to do this right now. I am diagnosed ADHD, so it is, if it's happening, it's happening, and there's no camera that can get in my way. Like, I had to just do it. I rediscovered one of my favorite overnight sleeping masks, which is the Bubble Overnight Sleeping Mask. I can personally combine this with other actives. It does have mandelic acid in it, so just be mindful. This is a great restorative, richer balm style product that nourishes the skin, locks in moisture in an amazing way. And I use it at night, just like last night after the concert. My face was so dry. I was dehydrated. I was not doing everything I should have been doing. This product kind of helped counteract that in a subtle way. So I did enjoy that. One thing I want to talk about in the fall that I do specifically is use different moisturizers for different parts of my face. This CosRx cream is amazing. It does great to nourish my skin, but today specifically, my chin, my lips, my neck, all of those areas get dry for me. And that is why Dew's Instant Angel, I actually had this on hand from spring. I have not used this product in the summer, but I love using it in the colder months or when my skin is just really sensitized on those drier areas, because it just really nourishes the skin. It is such a deeply nourishing lipid-rich cream. It's great as a lip base as well. I am gonna go in with a lip balm, but I love applying moisturizer to my lips as I am doing my skincare routine, and then lip balm I just reapply with as needed. I could bathe in this moisturizer. This is such a nourishing product and very light considering how deeply nourishing it is. It's not like a greasy, cakey, heavy finish whatsoever. While I'm letting my moisturizers dry down, let's talk about some face mist. We're gonna talk about two. One, I have been working out a lot more at night, and I've noticed that I don't need to wash my face as much as I want to sometimes. I cap it at 2 times a day. That is what my skin needs. A lot of times I work out at odd times in the day. So to prevent acne from coming up on my face, after sweating in a workout, I use Prequel's hypochlorous acid mist. Such a wonderful balancing product. It uses hypochlorous acid best in its simplicity, which means they just use hypochlorous acid in this. It's budget friendly, it lasts a while, it has a beautiful mist application. It's everything I look for in a more hypochlorous acid mist. I have been seeing brands release the most crazy hypochlorous acid. I know the brands that are maximalizing because they're using all these actives in hypochlorous acid, and from what I've seen with experts, from the studies I've read, you don't need to be mixing all that. You don't need to be doing all that. That's why I appreciate the Prequel, because they kept it simple. It's very effective for my skin, and it's not the salicylic acid mixed with hypochlorous acid, mixed with AHA, mixed with all of this. You're supposed to use this outside of your skincare routine from what I have been told from experts. And I noticed that after I stopped using it at the end of my skincare routine, my face would be doing better. And I realized this was neutralizing the actives on my face and was basically making it like I had never used those. And so I used this as a hand sanitizer for my face. I always reference it like that because it's kind of just a refresher mist. If you're wanting a hydrating face mist, I love Cosrx's Ceramide Barrier Mist. I have been using this like crazy. They actually just sent me a new bottle. So thank you, Cosrx, for that. This is so beautiful. I'm actually just gonna go in with this as just a base layer. Even though I just hydrated my skin so much, I just needed that today. This is just giving me everything. So now I have seen reviews comparing this to their old mist, and they have been saying that this is a better formula. I love that panthenol is included in here now, and they've made it a little bit more balancing to complement their other ceramide moisturizer. So I feel like this is a wonderful way to nourish the skin, but also be mindful of acne-prone skin, with my face at least. So I'm so glad I had the opportunity to try that, and they brought back their ceramide mist because it gives a glow like no other. Look at that. Talk about makeup either setting spray, you could use it as that for a more dewy look, or you could use it underneath makeup for a more dewy look as well. So one more product to help counteract dryness in my dry areas, specifically at night, I slug using Prequel Skin Utility Ointment. This is a petrolatum ointment. Always apply a moisturizer underneath it to get that rich level of nourishment. That's what I personally did, and it was a game changer ever since I've been doing that, and I've been telling my friends, hey, try applying a moisturizer under this, and it has been a game changer for everybody that I have shared that information with. But this is a really good skin barrier supporting ointment and amazing for my drier days. I used this last night when I was really dry, over top a moisturizer in my really dry areas, and it's been a game changer. Now let's talk about the most important part of the skincare routine, sunscreens. Round Labs Birch Moisturizing Sunscreen has been something that I haven't had to think about using in my routine, because as the weather gets colder, I find that I just want comfort, my moisturizing, my really good acne fighting sunscreen, which just has been the case for me. Birch has shown wonderful results with my skin with preventing acne, and this sunscreen is the most important step of a skincare routine. I apply it the most throughout the day, and I'm just like, why wouldn't I just go for this product? when my skin is going through it. And that's what has been in my rotation. I feel like there haven't been any sunscreens recently that I've tried. I haven't added a new sunscreen or tried out a new sunscreen in a while. I think that's because brands usually release those in the summer, the spring. So I'm excited to see what new sunscreens will be coming out, but I love this formulation. I'm personally using the Korean at the moment because I'm still able to access that, but the American formulation does the job as well. So it's just whatever you're able to get. I do like that this is at Ulta now too. It is the American formulation, but still having the ability to go pick up a sunscreen from the store is game changer. The only thing that I do keep a ton of stock on is sunscreens, because I do go through this very quickly. If they had a jumbo size of this, it would be over. And if we want to talk about comfort skincare, my comfort lip balm is the Topical Slick Solve. I actually, this is so specific, but I'm very picky. I have to have a lip balm with me at all times. And so this one is my designated travel with me lip balm. I like it also because it's minty. So that way, if anyone were to get close enough to me to smell my breath or smell anything, it's mint. It's got mint. This is the secret. This is my prize secret. Let's keep it between us, because I try my best to smell good. I try my best to have good breath. I have all of that. I try to take care of myself in all of those regards. And this lip balm is one way that I do that. It's not only really good smelling, but it has a great finish to it that's just fairly neutral and actually supports the barrier of my lips for a wonderful price point. This one is, I don't think they use any fragrance extracts in this. They just use mint, but they do have new fragrances in this as well. This has been the best lip balm that I have ever tried. If I could just repurchase one lip balm for the rest of my life, it would be this one, because it is such a nourishing comfort product. I cannot recommend it enough. And I wear it in most videos. If you see it, specifically recently, I have been using it a lot. I'm trying to think, I think that's my entire routine. That pretty much sums it up. I feel like we covered a lot of ground in this video. There is a lot different with my routine. It's ever changing, but this kind of covers the baseline of my fallback routine whenever I'm not trying out a new product. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more like this, make sure you subscribe, because I post new videos every week, and I will see you all in the next video.